Your lifestyle.
We're totally insane.
They pushed me out and maced me.
Those are the facts.
The Jeff Dwoskin Show presents Crossing the Streams with host Jeff Dwoskin, Bob Phillips, Ron Lippitt, Howard Rosner, Sal D'Amelio, and Zach Wiseman, and today's special guest. Thank you for joining us as we talk about what we are streaming right here on Crossing the Streams.
We gotta do this before Mick finds out. Just wanna let you guys all know, 8 o'clock every Sunday night on the Sports Snobs Network is the Phantom Effect. We got a lot of great guests, and me and Mark doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Oh crap, Mick's coming. Gotta go. Check us out.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sports Snobs. I'm Pat. He's Kaz. Check us out on the sportsnobs.com. Watch us on YouTube or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And Brian, you know what time of year it is now? It's March. It's now officially vasectomy madness.
You heard that story? I literally just heard that story on ESPN when I went upstairs. I caught half of it. So tell me the full story. Please tell me I didn't see a legitimate doctor from Johns Hopkins recommend that people get vasectomies so they get 4 days off of work. Did I see that?
Oh, I didn't see that. I just know they say it every year because people obviously have a reason to take off from work and then watch the games just literally all day long.
Well, this year it's only 1 day. This year it's only 1 day.
What do you mean?
It started on Friday. Usually it's Thursday, Friday.
Well, yeah, but I guess.
So this one you can just fake COVID. I don't know why you need to get a surgery.
You wouldn't do it this year anyway, because I was watching the games while I was working. I had it on in the background just for some noise here and there. But yeah, I'd imagine that number goes down this year due to COVID. But have you gotten yours? That's the real question.
If we're fortunate, we could work from home. Not everybody can. So if I had to go into the office this year, I would have been like, listen, I woke up with a cough. I'm going to go get a rapid test to make sure I don't got COVID, but I don't want to come into the office. I'm not getting my balls snipped for one day.
So you're confirming you have not received a vasectomy. Is that what we're hearing?
No, I have not. Okay. I have not. It is, sure. I could sell this for good money. That's all I'm saying. It's very well wanted out there. So
what's the street value?
I don't want to disclose that because that's it's illegal to say. It's almost like prostitution, but you could go on the
Exactly.
dark web and check out Kaz sperm. You'll see what it goes for.
Wow. I do not suggest Googling that at all. If you do, make sure you clear your browser history. Your wives or your husbands or whoever will not. They'll be a little concerned. All right. I mean, with that being said, I know you had some topics that you wanted to discuss. I'm assuming March Madness is probably among them. The real March Madness, not the vasectomy madness.
The first one I wanted to talk about, but just to go back to the vasectomy, like literally, I walked upstairs to get a bottle of water because everybody made fun of my cup last week. So I got a bottle. I actually went to the store to buy a bottle so that, I could actually not get in trouble. But I'm walking upstairs and I see outside the lines on ESPN and there's a doctor in a medical coat. And I'm like, oh my God, who got injured? And the guy's like, oh yeah, it's a relatively easy surgery, not a lot of painkillers. And then the little tag at the bottom says, Dr. So-and-so recommends getting a vasectomy for 4 days off. And he's like, yeah, you also have the World Cup and the Olympics coming up. So if there are things you want to do during the day, I recommend it because it's a pretty painless surgery and you don't need pain meds. And I was just like, a doctor is recommending a surgery, not even a needed surgery. I was baffled.
I'm sure there's some payments there. We won't get into that. We're not working right now.
Exactly, right? The other thing that was kind of breaking news this morning, have you heard about the Tokyo Olympics?
No, I didn't hear anything this morning.
They have breaking news is they will not allow any international fans at the Olympics, if they even have them. They say they're going forward with it, but they will not allow any international fans at the Olympics. What do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense from a health and safety perspective, obviously. But how the hell do you enforce that? You're going to close the borders like for that amount of time? People are going to find a way in. If you get to Tokyo, I mean, you're going to find a way into the events. I mean, what kind of checks are they doing? I don't know. I've never been to the Olympics. I don't know what is that process like? Is it like a regular baseball game where they have like metal detectors, check your ID? Are they going to check international passports? Like what are we doing?
That's what I'm thinking they're going to probably have to do. Check IDs. That's the only way they can enforce it. Now, I don't think they can stop people from going because I've never been to the Olympics, but you see all the coverage of the Olympic Village. I don't know how no, you know what? That's probably pretty secure and locked down. How do they stop people? Maybe they do a complete halt on international flights during that time frame.
That's gonna be chaos.
Yeah,
I still don't know how they're even gonna do it in the first place.
Well, is it Madison? No, Yankee Stadium. You have to produce proof that you had the vaccine or a COVID test within like the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
Somebody made a joke. They're like, it's almost like like the Nazis. Show me your papers. You know what I mean? It's like it's getting to that type of police state in a way.
Yeah, and then the question is, like, are they doing rapid tests on site? Are they offering that? Like, if you want to get there an hour or two early, because it could take 45 minutes to an hour for some of those rapid tests, although some are quicker. So like, do they have a booth set up to get people there? Because are you going to get a COVID test just to watch a baseball game in person? I'm a baseball fan, but honestly, I think watching baseball from home it's the one sport where I think it's actually more enjoyable watching from home. Like, I don't know. I don't. But
here's the thing: you would have to do the rapid test like 4 hours before to get through all of the people.
Well, yeah. So
an hour early,
there'd be a crazy line, exactly. Unless you had like different healthcare companies like set up and kind of sponsored. That's a way to make money, I guess, right? You have, I don't know, Quest Diagnostics set up outside, and then you have whatever other ones you have set up. I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I mean, they're only going to be like what, 20%? Was it 25%? I think at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. So I don't know what the capacity is at those stadiums. But you're probably looking at least 10,000 people, right? I mean,
yeah. And the other thing is like the Devils, right? I know that because they obviously reach out to me, and they're like, at first they were selling tickets, and then they came out with an email that if you buy the tickets, it's an electronic ticket. You can't sell or transfer it. Now, you had to buy it in multiples of 2, okay? So a lot of fans were complaining, like, well, I want me, my wife, and my kid to go. So I got to buy 4 tickets, and I can't bring my friend or somebody who doesn't live in my house to that game, but I got to buy the 4th ticket. So there's a lot of these protocols, and don't even get me started with why we need curfews at 10 p.m. Believe me, I'm safe with COVID. I don't go out. I don't this, but I don't understand how it's more risky after 10 p.m. You can open a restaurant, but 10 p.m., I'm not going to go there. But I don't know why you can't buy 1 ticket, 3 tickets. I don't get it. It's just that some of the rules that they're coming out with this in sports and just in general with COVID, just, I don't know. They're not the most logical.
Well, it makes sense for the Devils because they got to make money somehow. I mean, people aren't going to buy as many tickets given how they're playing. So,
well, not only that, I mean, it makes sense for any sports team because they had no revenue from ticket sales last year.
Yeah. It could work the opposite, though. I might have 4 friends of mine that I want to go see a game with, and I'm like, I like you the least, so I'm buying 4, and you're out. I'm not buying 6 tickets just to go to the game. So it could go both ways. But
True.
Yeah, I didn't know about that part of it. That's odd. That's strange. Yeah. I get the pod set up, like you want to buy per household or per group, whatever.
Agreed.
But that's strange. I never heard that. But
agreed. I agree with the pod system, and like there are X amount of tickets in certain sections, and if somebody buys 6, the 4 to the right and the 4 to the left aren't available. I totally get that, but I don't understand why it's like you have to buy 2, 4, or 6.
Strange.
The Yankees with you have to prove you had the test. Tokyo, you can only be from Japan. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, I don't want to go crazy and overkill it with the Olympics here, but would you? Can you see yourself traveling? I guess if you have a relative who's actually like in the Olympics or a friend, like is the casual like Olympic fan traveling from country to country to go watch the Olympics?
Dude, there's people traveling country to country right now just to go see landmarks. There are people out there that just don't believe in COVID. There are people, yes, there would be people that would do that.
Just in general, though, I feel like,
dude,
it's odd.
So think about it. You're one of those people that always wanted to go to the Olympics. You don't believe COVID's that bad. You know it's going to be easy to get tickets to the Olympics this year. It's going to be cheap as hell to travel. So you're I don't want to say you're normal, but you're more rational person would have the type of mindset you just said of, do I really want to travel right now with the global pandemic? Probably not. But there are a lot of people out there that are going to storm the Capitol. So there aren't the most rational people out there. There are people out there that still go to stores and argue with a guy behind the counter making $10 an hour. Why do I got to wear a mask? I don't have to wear a mask. COVID is fake. It's like, wear a goddamn mask. It's not like we're asking you to wear a hazmat suit. It's a mask.
Or just put a thong over your mouth and nose. Whatever we said last week. It all works. Face covering. Right. That's all we're asking for. All right. Anyway, so March Madness. Did anybody pick the Ohio State University to lose yesterday?
So from what I heard on ESPN, out of the 14 million entries they got on their tournament challenge, as of today, there are 106 perfect brackets out there. How? I don't know.
Real quick, doesn't that number seem low? Like, doesn't 14 million comparative? I know they use other platforms, like you could use CBS or whatever other app or website, but doesn't that seem low? I feel like it's usually higher. I don't know what the year-to-year stats are, but 14 million seems like not a lot of brackets.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I didn't fill out any brackets this year.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't because I didn't think I knew enough about it. And with the bubble atmosphere and all of the different, if one team gets COVID, it could take out 4 teams. So with all the uncertainty, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch and enjoy. I don't want to sit there and watch and be like, oh my God, my boy McBride from West Virginia, who got 30 points, was guarding a guy from, Caltech or whoever the hell they're playing. And that guy had COVID. So now he's out for the next 2 weeks because of contact tracing. I just, and that ruins my bracket. I would hate it because I want to see WVU play good. But, I just thought it would bring more stress to me. doing a bracket this year versus just the enjoyment to see, what was it, 5 double digits seeds won yesterday. That was insane. That was so much fun.
Yeah, including Rutgers.
Rutgers was expected to win, though.
Well, it wasn't like a landslide. It wasn't like a 15-2 matchup, but
well, no, and also everybody said that the ACC is down this year. The Big Ten is up, which is funny because then you had a few Big Ten teams that were
Purdue.
upset.
What happened? I mean, Purdue, no excuse.
Ohio
what the hell?
State. Purdue.
Well, yeah, well, of course, but I don't like Ohio State, so I don't care that they lose. But Purdue, man, what the hell?
North Texas, man, they play good defense.
They do. I'm 12-4 through the first round, which isn't bad. I mean, I feel like I'm usually worse than that, so I'll take 12-4.
So the only one you got right was Rutgers.
Yeah, I picked Rutgers. No, I picked Syracuse too. Syracuse wasn't 11, aren't they?
They are. So they you got which one did you get?
I don't know. I got to check it, but I know I missed Ohio State.
Maybe at 8-9. I don't count an 8-9 as an upset.
I probably missed an 8-9, but I missed Loyola. That's what it was.
Okay.
I went with I forget who even played at this point. But yeah, shout out to Sister Jean.
Isn't it amazing how Loyola, like 2-3 years ago, like nobody ever heard of them? They were like the Cinderella. Now they're a top 8 seed.
Yeah,
like
it's weird.
It's amazing how like one good season could turn around recruiting for a program.
Yeah, look at all the publicity they got. I mean, just because of Sister Jean, I mean, they should pay her an immense amount of money because I feel like if they didn't do all those Sports Center specials on her, no kid would even know what the hell school that was. So yeah, shout out to Sister Jean. Although she didn't even pick them she did a bracket and she didn't even pick them to win. No, didn't. Where's the loyalty to the school?
Hey, Marcus Towns did a lot to bring fame to that school as well. St. Joe's kid, not related to Carl Anthony Towns, but played with him.
There you go. Towns and Towns.
Yeah. One with an E, one without.
So more action today. I'm sitting in first place in Chris's pool, so that's nice. I don't know what that really says.
How many people are in that, by the way?
Only 6.
Big money there.
I think it's like $20 a person. So I'll take it. I'll take the money.
I thought it was $10 a person.
Now we had to up it because it was only 6 people. I'm not doing it for $50. So we upped it by 10. So yeah, big ball. I'll play softball for free if I win, basically. I'll take it.
Hey, I played for softball free last year.
That's right. I never. Don't say that. We don't know who's watching. Wonder how much money.
I register this year. I'll have to pay $140.
Yeah, watch. You got a backlog of outstanding payments.
Interest.
Yeah. So yeah, more action today. So we'll see. Hopefully, I go 12-4 again and keep this going.
What underdogs do you predict today?
We pull out the bracket while we. All
right, then I'll quickly go over mine.
I don't think I had many upsets. Honestly, I thought about it. I was like, oh, it's a different year. It's going to be unique because of the fact that COVID and no team. Even if you're like a 14 seed, I mean, you might have just had a hard hit from COVID. I don't know. Go ahead. You start. I'll pull mine up, and then we can talk about it.
So I got number 10 VCU with an upset.
I picked them too, actually. Yep, that rings a bell.
I got number 11 UCLA with an upset. I got number 12 Georgetown. They're hot coming off the Big East.
Stop it.
With an upset.
Enough of Georgetown.
And I got number 13 Ohio beating Virginia. Virginia just got to the bubble yesterday. They've been laid up for 2 weeks with COVID. Everything that's been in the news is it takes 2 to 3 games, whether any pro sport or college sport, it takes 2 to 3 games to get your wind back after COVID hits your team.
There's no shot. Everybody and their mother is picking Virginia to lose. There's no that motivation alone. They will not. There's no shot. Like you're not losing to a 16 seed 2 years ago, getting killed by the media this year, saying, "Oh, I could see that being an upset." No shot. Absolutely no shot.
All right. So who do you have? You said you had VCU. Who else?
I got VCU over Oregon. I think that's really my only upset. I went pretty much chalk the rest of the way down. I did go with UCLA to beat BYU, and that's it. Those are the only two I got. Everything else is I went favorites. So
what about so with the tournament, I mean, it's been fun. Fun to watch, a lot of good close games, not a lot of blowouts.
No.
And I mean, but what about the NBA lately? It hasn't been that much fun to watch. I mean, especially the Rockets. If you're a Rockets fan, wow.
I think the only game I've watched over the last week was the Nets-Knicks game, which was great to start. And then in the middle of the game, you're like, oh, here go the Nets. Can't stop them. This is what they're going to do. This is like Golden State Warriors a couple of years ago. And then the Knicks claw back, and it was actually an entertaining finish. They lost, of course, but, I mean, they played – Tom Thibodeau is my uncle, of course, but he is some coach. This team has no business. Julius Randle has no business having like 4 triple-doubles on the seasons, averaging 20-plus points a game. I mean, he went for like 30, 15, and whatever. Like, it's ridiculous what he's doing. It's amazing how much you see one team like a LeBron team really no effective coaching. And then you see a Knicks team and you're like, that's coaching. It's amazing to see the difference between great players and okay coaches and then great coaches and okay players. It's an
so why can't
dynamic.
you get your uncle on the show as a guest?
He's busy. He's very busy.
He can't call in for 5 minutes, like while he's on the bus to the airport.
No, he can't. He doesn't have a phone. He's dialed in. He gets rid of all social media, all communication. He's dialed in for the season.
But yeah, the Rockets, 19 straight losses.
Yeah, they're bad. They're really bad. And they really shouldn't be that bad.
No.
Like, on paper, they're decent.
Well,
they're not terrible.
After the Harden trade, they actually were playing good, like surprisingly good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, no, we got another all-star in Victor Oladipo, and now we're going to play like crap. I don't get it.
He's not going to be there next season. There's no shot. Hopefully
he
he goes
might
to the
not be
Knicks.
there at the end of this season.
Yeah. And then they moved PJ Tucker. So I guess they're tanking now. Safe to say. But tough year for the Houston Rockets, losing James Harden, having a terrible, terrible season. And then you can't even root for your football team if you're in Houston.
Well, you know.
Sensitive topic. I'm not going into specifics here. I'm just,
All right,
crazy what happens over the span of 2 weeks. We're talking about, will Deshaun Watson get moved? And now we're talking, will he even play?
So, all right. You know, lately, it's unlike me, but lately I've had a lot of theories, right, about different sports topics. So I'm going to get with Mick, and for next week, you know, in case another one of these topics, I'm going to want a graphic, and we're going to call it a Kaz-spiracy, okay? Not a conspiracy, a Kaz-spiracy.
I like this.
So here's my Deshaun Watson theory. You might want to go get popcorn, maybe an adult
Let me grab my coffee.
It's going to be a good one, all right?
I'm kicking back and listening.
Deshaun Watson, right, is like, yo, listen, I don't want to play here no more. Trade me. Now all of a sudden it's like the Goodfellas. And the guy's like, oh, no, don't worry. We'll take care of you. And he's like, fuck you, trade me. So now the guy's like, oh, we hired the owner. We hired a minority coach. Fuck you, trade me. Oh, look, we're bringing in all these players to help you to get better. Come on. Fuck you, trade me. So now the owner's like, you know what? All right, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the lawyer that's bringing forward these cases. Now, this is all speculation. I'm not saying it did or didn't happen, but this is a Kaz-spiracy theory. The lawyer involved is at least one case he's had against a public figure where he brought allegations of misconduct of the public figure that were totally thrown out of court. There's a lot of belief that they were fake allegations. Nothing ever came of them, that this lawyer is just one of those guys that tries to become famous, all right? So I'm the owner. I'm like, I don't want to trade Deshaun Watson. I've done everything I can. And all this guy does is tell me, fuck you, trade me. All right, you know what? I'm going to make it so that nobody wants you. So he hires this lawyer, and he's like, listen, I don't want to kill the guy. I don't want him to be suspended for a year. You know, here's some money. maybe you could find somebody that has some allegations against them. Don't make it like too bad, like sexual abuse or, rape or anything like that, but just something that, makes his value go down a little bit.
Pull a Bobby Kraft is what you're saying.
What?
Pull a Bobby Kraft.
So he goes out there and he finds somebody that's willing to say, oh yeah, he made some inappropriate comments. And Deshaun Watson just laughs it off and goes, fuck you, pay me. So now the owner's like, all right, you know what? Here's some more money, Mr. Lawyer. Find a couple more, but again, don't go too far with it. Now the lawyer comes out and says, oh, now we have 3 people that said he made inappropriate comments. We still haven't gotten down the line of sexual abuse, right? It was just inappropriate comments or actions, but nothing too damaging so that the NFL might suspend him, right? Well, Deshaun Watson goes, fuck you, trade me. So now the owner's really pissed. And he's like, all right, we got to step our game up. I'm still getting phone calls from the Jets, from the Dolphins, from the Patriots to get him. So we haven't damaged him enough. And he still thinks he's running the team and can tell me what to do. We need to go a step further. So now they get one woman that says there was sexual abuse. Still nothing. It's not hurting them. Now all of a sudden the lawyers, they're panicking. So the lawyer's like, oh yeah, here's a 4th one, but I might have 7. Trying to get Deshaun Watson to panic a little bit and pull back and be like, all right, you know what? Or teams to pull back and be like, oh, maybe we don't want this. Teams are still asking. Now the last I heard is the lawyers accusing he has 11 lawsuits. I don't know. Now here's my other theory about that, right? Apparently all of this happened within the past 2 years. 11? You found 11, massage therapists through Instagram? Come on. It's just, I don't know. I'm telling you, I think the owner is behind it to try to stop Deshaun Watson from requesting a trade or teams asking for a trade. That's my conspiracy theory.
I love it. And this has to be a weekly staple. I absolutely love it. This is fantastic. So I will say that I somewhat agree with you. Like, I don't know if I'll go as far as to say it's the owner and I don't know who it is, but I'm along this. I have the same thinking that you do. I'm along the same lines there with all of a sudden it's 1, it's 3, it's 5, it's 7 more. It's up to like close to 20. And I mean, I won't say that doesn't happen. I mean, look at Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, it took one woman to come forward and have the bravery to come forward, and then others are brave to come forward. I wish all women who had any type of misconduct felt brave from minute 1 to come forward, but sometimes you do need that one person to come forward. But unlike other cases, when there was supposed 20, the lawyer filed the lawsuit for all 20 at that time. Not, I'm going to file 1 here. I'm going to file 1 there. I got 12 more in my back pocket. This isn't poker. You don't have, chips on the side and go, I could go all in, but I'm just going to raise you $500. No, if these women have cases, legitimate cases, bring the case forward. Don't tease it. Don't say, wait until tomorrow. You'll get more tomorrow. No, that's where the shady business comes in. True, but so I'll comment on that in a second. But he first came out and was like, asked for like $100,000 and said, basically, if you pay $100,000 to a civil lawsuit, we're good with 1, right? So it seems strange that would be the threat is $100,000. You think Deshaun Watson really cares about $100,000? Like, you think the owner is really going to tell someone that's all like $100,000? I mean, Deshaun Watson could have paid that even if he didn't do it and was just like,
right. But that's why I believe the owner is behind it, because it was something where he thought it was a low enough figure where Deshaun Watson would just pay it, and it would ruin Deshaun Watson's reputation enough that other teams don't want him, and now he doesn't have to trade Deshaun Watson. Yeah. If you go for $1 million, if you go for $2 million, Deshaun Watson's going to be like, you know what? I'll have my lawyers fight it because I know I did nothing. If it's $100,000, Deshaun Watson might be like, I'm going to have to pay my lawyer $250,000. Let me pay the $100,000. But now your reputation is, maybe he has some off-field issues. So now you don't have teams calling saying, I'll give you the number 3 overall pick, Tua Tagovailoa, the 2nd round pick in next year's first.
Yeah, no, it can make sense if you think about it like that. There's certainly no doubt that that's possible, and I wouldn't even be shocked that this happens in sports or in any walk of life, really.
Now, I will say, if my conspiracy theory is true, I believe the owner, the lawyer, and any of these women that did it should be held accountable. But at the same time, if any of these 11, 12, 30, however many cases come forward about Deshaun Watson, I believe he should also be held accountable. So, I think the justice system needs to go both ways. If you falsely accuse somebody, I believe that there should be punishment there.
Oh, for sure.
Because no matter what, true, if it's not true, if it's true, his reputation should be damaged. But even if it's not true, even if it was fabricated, what are people going to remember 5 years from now? Oh, I remember Deshaun Watson was accused of like 11 times doing X, Y, and Z, even if it was totally fabricated. So that's why I think there needs to be some type of remediation, to use a compliance term, for those people who falsely accuse.
Yeah. I mean, he came out right away and was just like, basically said in his Instagram post or Twitter, he was just like, this is ridiculous. Not true.
I mean, most people do that. Bill Cosby still says he didn't do it.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby is kind of a creepy guy. Deshaun Watson, from like what I see at least.
So you're saying Bill Cosby was known as the most like family-centric man in the world. From the Cosby Show, even his stand-up comedy, he was known as like the greatest father figure in the world. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, he likes to put pills in drinks. And, a lot of people didn't believe it at first. And then it was like, oh, wow, yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Now, if you said R. Kelly, R. Kelly was a creep. He was even on video doing things. But yet people still think he did nothing wrong.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, yeah, of course, everyone's going to come out like, oh, he's such a good – it happens all the time whenever something happens. Like, oh, I knew him. He was such a good guy. Like any crime, right? Even in just everyday society, not even just celebrities. But I guess you don't typically see – if you have any small part of guilt, I don't know if you'd come out so strong with that post right away and be like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know. It's not the typical road traveled. Usually you wait a little bit and then you come out. Like, this is totally different. But like, look at Russell Wilson and like the trade talks, right? He still hasn't come out and said like, oh, and squashed the rumors that he wants to leave Seattle. Like, it's like things like that. These players always take so much time to think about these things. They talk with their lawyers. They talk with their PR people. They talk with their agent. He came out right away and was just like, no, this is ridiculous. So listen, I'm not saying that he didn't do it. He could be a terrible person. I don't know. No, but unfortunately,
I'm just saying that part of my conspiracy theory isn't that, well, he came out right away, that means it didn't happen. But here's the other thing, right? If you're Deshaun Watson and all you want is a massage and a rub and tug, call Robert Kraft. He has a Rolodex full of them.
Absolutely.
They won't charge you. Why do you got to call Instagram models? And first of all, if you're Deshaun Watson.
Exactly.
You're going to email an Instagram model and be like, hey, do you want to go out for dinner, and show up with $1 million bracelet and put it on her wrist and be like, hey, so what do you want to do now? You're not going to be like, hey, would you like to come to my house and give me a massage? No. Come on. It doesn't make sense.
It's weird. It's very weird. But I mean, maybe he's just into that type of like, it's a psychological thing. Maybe it's like mysterious and it's like he feels normal. I don't know. It's very strange.
Hey, it could be true. It could be true. He could have done these things, and if he did, they're horrific.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
But if not, like I said, the other shit happened.
Yeah, definitely not condoning it, but unfortunately, in today's society, you're guilty until proven innocent. That's just the way it is, especially when you're in the public eye like that. But they went out and they signed Tyrod Taylor, so they're kind of like, even if you did these or you didn't do them, you're staying, and now you're going to sit, and Tyrod Taylor is going to play quarterback, and that's it. You could retire, or you can. I don't know.
That would be such a Texans move to do, to sign Tyrod Taylor for him to be the starter. That just makes total sense.
Yeah, I heard the Chargers team doctor applied for the job with the Texans, and they were like, absolutely not, no shot.
Unfortunately, on that, my alarm clock, i.e. my son, is banging at the door. So he probably needs a diaper change.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, I think we got some good content today, and of course, some more March Madness and whatnot.
And we got to get that logo, Mick. I'll work with you on that that little graphic for my conspiracy theories.
Love the conspiracy. All right, well, that's it. Check us out on thescenesnobs.com. Listen wherever you get your podcast or watch us on YouTube, and we'll be back next week for some more conspiracies.
And you'll find out they're true.